Welcome to Longship Gaming. Today we are playing a game of Marvel Champions. It's the last of our 5 villain scenarios from Sinister Motives. We've been alternating between Ghost Spider and Spider-Man Miles Morales. So now it is Miles' turn to take on the ultimate villain, Venom Goblin. Looks like a tough scenario. We are, however, bringing our aggression deck that we have been successful with against Mysterio and Sandman. So, to quickly go over what we have 2 copies of Press the Advantage, 3 copies of Dropkick, 2 copies of Clobber, 2 copies of Chase Them Down, Martial Prowess, 2 copies of Assault Training, Spider-Girl, 2 copies of the Power of Aggression. For our basic cards, to keep that stun rolling, although he does have steady, we have Mockingbird, Ghost Spider, Gwen Stacy, Spider-Man, Hobie Brown, Plan B. Again, in the game so far, I haven't even gotten this into play. As I stated before, I love this picture. Web of Life and Destiny, Helicarrier, Across the Spider-Verse, and Strength, Genius, and Energy. So we'll see if, there's some spoilers here. We'll see if Miles can go 3-0 against these villains, but I have a feeling this is going to be a tough scenario for us. So we're going to get shuffled up and be right back and ready to play. All right, we are back, shuffled up and ready to go. We are playing an expert, so Venom Goblin is starting on his second stage. He has 18 health, scheme of 2, attack of 3. He has steady, and toughness. I mean, at least it's not stalwart. Steady's still pretty bad. When revealed, deal 2 face down encounter cards to each player, so that's going to be a thing. And then he has Claim the Throne. Forced response. After Venom Goblin activates against you, move the glider counter to the main scheme with the least threat, and then resolve its special ability. So, as we can see here, we have 3 main schemes as he's flying around Manhattan trying to cover it in symbiote. So, the symbiote has driven Norman even more mad than he usually is. So we have 3. Lower Manhattan with a threshold of 11. Its special is place 1 threat on each scheme. If the symbiote environment is in play, place 1 additional threat on this scheme. So if this scheme flips over to its environment, it's going to be completely webbed up, and that's lost to us. So we don't want to lose any of these. Starts at 1, goes up by 1 each turn. Midtown Manhattan, main scheme. This its special is a threshold of 12. Its special is take 2 indirect damage. If a symbiote environment is in play, take 1 additional indirect damage. Starts on 2 and goes up by 1. Upper Manhattan, threshold of 10. Special, discard 1 card from your hand. If a symbiote environment is in play, discard the top 4 cards of your deck. Starts on 0 and goes up by 1 each turn. So we do know that on the first villain phase, it's going to switch to Upper Manhattan. It's going to force us to discard a card. And it is not a random discard, so at least I get to choose. So that's okay-ish, I suppose. Quickly to summarize, Miles, he's got 9 health on his alter ego side. He's got a recovery of 4. Response, after you change to this form, shuffle 1 Spider-Man card from your discard pile into your deck. And he has a thwart of 2, an attack of 2, and a defense of 2. Venom Blast special, deal 2 damage to an enemy and stun that enemy. Spider Camouflage special, give Spider-Man a tough status card and confuse the enemy. Going to get a lot of work out from those abilities, considering that the Goblin has steady. Okay, so for our starting 6 cards, we have Dropkick, Across the Spider-Verse, Dropkick, Defense Mechanism, Clobber, and assault training. Okay. Well, we know that we're going to be able to use defense mechanism to give ourselves a tough card on this turn and to put one confusion on him. So this is one that we definitely want right off the bat. Clobber's always good as a start. We don't really need assault training yet. Still possible. Well, expensive drop kicks though. That's the problem. And Across the Spider-Verse as an event, exhaust Web Warrior card you control, search your discard pile for a Web Warrior ally and put it into play, then choose a player. That player may spend 3 resources of any type to repeat this ability. Well, we don't have anything in the discard pile, so it's not really doing us any good. As much as I would love to be able to put out a drop kick right away, we don't really have the resources in this opening hand to do it. So in some ways, I think I'd rather get assault training out to ditch these 3 and be able to get 1 back into my hand. All right, so what do we end up with? We have double life, more assault training, and more clobber. Not too great. Now, nothing we really want. We don't really need to double life. Clobber. Well, we have a lot of choices here. I think what we're going to do, we're going to double life. Get rid of double life to put down assault training. Use assault training to get one of our drop kicks back into our deck. Oh, actually, sorry, we did that in a slightly incorrect order. We wanted to first play... is the clobber even worth it in this situation? Not really. I think I'd rather get the second assault training out to be able to get our other drop kick back into our deck. And then, now we have an option. Do we want to thwart? Or do we want to get the tough? I think we're going to get the tough off him. So we've used our basic power to attack Venom, or Venom Goblin, I should say. Then use... Oh, we should have put this in play first. I can't remember this in the right order. Okay, so we have our upgrade out. Response after your hero uses the biggest power, discard defense mechanism, resolve spider camouflage. Okay. So now we're resolving spider camouflage. Give us a tough and confuse. Okay, so now we are tough. And he has 1 confuse. Okay. Now comes time when we're going to suffer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dropkick. Genius. Arachnobatics. Jefferson Davis. Arachnobatics. Okay. So, he is going to scheme, and he schemes on all of them in this scenario at once. It's not just the active one. Always a problem. Yep. Just had to make sure. Then he is going to attack. We have a tough card, so we don't really care. So it's 3 damage, but it doesn't matter because ping takes off the tough. That causes the glider to go over here. Triggers the special ability, so I have to discard 1 card from our hand. So, This turn I'm not going to be able to trigger Dropkick anyway, so it might as well go. And we can always get it back with our assault training. Okay. So, first of 3 encounter cards, he is going to attack. Okay, so it's an attack of 3. I cannot really afford to be taking this kind of damage, so we're going to defend. So it's 3, 5. So we're going to take 3. It's going to shift this to, so it's going to not move because it still has the least threat. So I have to discard another card. Oof. Let's make sure that's the way it's supposed to go here. Move the glider to the main scheme with the least threat. Okay, so it stays on there on its own. I gotta discard another one. I guess it's going to be Arachnobatics. Next one, Exhaustion. When we're exhausted, it gets a surge. So we still have 2. Smoke bombs. Attach the villain, use 2 bomb counters. +1 attack. First response after the villain attacks you, remove 1 bomb counter from here, discard 1 event from your hand with the lowest cost. Okay. And the last one. Unstable Sentience. Surge. Great. When revealed, give the villain a 1 face-down boost card. Okay. Let's put that there to remind ourselves. Surged again. Symbiotic Berserker. Scheme of 0, attack of 3. Health of 5. While the symbiote environment is in play, Symbiotic Berserker gets quick strike. Okay. Wow. This is very unpleasant. Oh. Wow. I almost at this stage just want to play out Jefferson Davis. Can't play it Arachnobatics because we lost the card. I guess we're going to have to hang on to that. Let's see what we have in here. We have a drop kick, and we have our clobbers. So both assault trainings are going to go. We're going to put drop kick and clobber back in. All right, we are going to have to switch over to Alter Ego to avoid being completely run over here. When we change to this form, shuffle one Spider-Man card from your discard pile into your deck. Let's go with defense mechanism. Let's have Jefferson Davis get rid of some threat. And then we draw back up. We're going to keep Arachnobatics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Swing in. Web of Life and Destiny. Defense mechanism. Power of aggression. Double life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So, he's going to scheme. 1, 2, 3. Because he has steady, the confuse is not going to go off. We're not going to prevent him from doing this. He has a scheme of 2. Whoops. We forgot we had this. 2. Okay, so move the glider counter to the main scheme with the most threat. Place 1 threat on the scheme. Okay, so the glider is going to move here. It's going to put threat. So this is part of the boost. So that means that his scheme is going to go onto Midtown Manhattan. Okay, so that's still 2, 3. So that one's already at 8 out of 12. Luckily, the Symbiotic Berserker does not activate. After his activation, move the glider counter to the main scheme with least threat, which goes back to Upper Manhattan. So now we have to get rid of 1 here. We definitely want swing in. Web of Life and Destiny doesn't do anything for us at the moment. Okay, so Web of Life and Destiny, because we have no allies out. But it doesn't cost anything to put out. Maybe double life. No, I think I can see use for double life this turn. Defense mechanism, because I think swing in is going to be good for us on this turn. Okay, so defense mechanism goes. Encounter card. When revealed, if Advanced Glider is in play, the villain activates, so there's no Advanced Glider. The villain activates against you. If not in play, search the encounter deck and discard pile for Advanced Glider and reveal it. Okay. So did we see it here? No. Advanced Glider. There it is. So what does this have in store for us here? So he has his bombs and a glider. Advanced Glider. Attached to villain. Forced response. After attached villain activates against you, it activates against you again. Cool. Okay. Hero action, discard any number of attack cards from your hand with a combined resource cost of 3 or more. Discard this card. Okay. That's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. So discard any number of attack cards from your hand with a combined resource cost of 3 or more. All right. Well, anyway, first thing we're going to do. Let's get thread off of this. We do not have enough attack cards. So, this is free, Web of Life and Destiny. We're going to flip over. We are going to use Swing In, use our Power of Aggression to count as Genius. So remove 4 threat from a scheme. So let's get rid of all that nastiness. Trigger Spire Camouflage, so we give him a second Confuse, and now we are tough. All right. Then, double life isn't gonna, well, it'll help us to some degree. We can do 5 damage to him right now, but I don't know if it's actually even worth it. We're going to thwart some more. Then we're going to double life. We're not going to be able to ready. To flip back to Miles. Then we're going to put Swing In back. Okay, this keeps them under control a little bit. Okay. Still very rough going here. And ready up. And draw back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Web Shooter, Dropkick, Helicarrier, Power of Aggression, Web Shot, and Spider-Man. Okay. So, starting with scheming. 1, 2, 3. He is going to scheme. He can't on the first activation, but because he has the advanced glider, he gets to do it again. This will activate, of course, but then, oh, he does it twice in a row. So after attached villain activates against you, it activates against you again. Okay. So now he does again. Oh, he activated, he couldn't attack. So that goes to there. I have to discard a card from my hand. It's going to be the Helicarrier because it's expensive. Then he's going to activate and scheme. That's going to stay where it is. It's going to scheme for 2, for 4. Okay, so that's no longer the one with the lowest amount, so it's going to go to this one. Trigger that, take 2 indirect damage. Okay. Getting enough of there is okay for me. Okay. Now it's the encounter card. Can't forget that. I'd like to forget that, but I can't forget that. Improved weapons attached to villain. He has +1. Wow. Bombs, glider, improvised weapons. Okay. So I think move 1 threat with the one with the least. Let's get rid of that. We can get rid of the advanced glider, which is something that we desperately need to do as a hero action. I think we have to get our health back, then flip over. Luckily, we're still tough. We're going to use drop kick, which is a cost of 3 to get rid of the advanced glider, because that thing is just gross. Let's see. As much as I would love to put Spider-Man in, we're not really going to be able to. That Berserker is a problem in our way, and he attacks for a lot. So we're going to have to web shot, treating it as energy. Deal 4 damage to an enemy if you paid for this card using energy resource, which we did. Resolve Venom Blast. So we're going to do 4 and then 2 to the Berserker to get rid of him. Then use Spider-Man to get web shooters. Okay. One, two, three, four, 5. Press the advantage, clobber, chase them down, drop kick, go spider. Okay. Let's see. So, schemes again. 1, 2, 3. This time, he is going to attack. 3, 4. I have tough. So 4, boost, reveal this card. Festering Mass. While there are no other symbiote environments in play, this card is considered a symbiote environment. Okay. And it accelerates. Wow. This is an incredible uphill battle for Miles. Not performing as well as he has in the past. But not entirely surprising. Okay, so anyway, that was enough to knock off the tough. Encounter card. Oh. After he attacks. Take 1 bomb counter off. Oh, he actually was doing more than damage. He was doing 5 base. Discard 1 event from your hand with the lowest cost. Alright, so that would be chase them down, which costs 0. Encounter card. Concussive bombs. After the villain attacks you, remove one bomb counter from here, exhaust one, upgrade it, and one support you control. So he has smoke bombs and concussive bombs and improved weapons. Ooh. Okay. Miles is having one of those days. Okay. Festering mass is something that's got to go, but I don't know if I can. Press the advantage isn't going to do anything because he's not stunned or confused. Drop kick, I do not have. Well, I could have the resources to drop kick, but that's only going to stun and draw one card. I feel like I have to get Gwen out here, if anything, just to protect for future turns. There's no use in using the web shooter because I just don't have the resources. I'd have one card in hand, but nothing to do with it. All right. Well, we got to try and get rid of Festering Mass because it's pretty awful. So it's 3 off of it. And that's about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gwen's going to take one heck of a hit here in a minute. So swing in, plan B, martial prowess, power within, and swing in. 2 swing ins. Okay. Okay. So, currently accelerating. So this one, it's going to go to 9. This one is going to go to 5. This one is going to go to 7. Now he's going to attack. We have 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, poor Gwen. 6, 7, 8. I have to discard the event in my hand with the lowest cost. That'll be one of my swing-ins. And then that's gone. And then exhaust and upgrade and support I control. It's going to be these two because I want Web of Life and Destiny to be able to go off. All right, so that takes out Gwen. When Ghost Spider leaves play, search your deck for an identity-specific event and add it to your hand. Okay, so what do we want? I think we definitely want our swing in back. And then we exhaust Web of Life and Destiny to draw a card because a Web Warrior ally left play, so Web Shot. Okay. Doing what we can here, but it's pretty rough. Okay, so now this is going to move. Does it move? No, it does not, because this is still the lowest, so I take 2 indirect. 3 indirect, because Festering Mass is considered to be a symbiote environment. Okay. Back to us. for all the good it's doing us. All right. Let's see. Can't use our web shooter. Okay. We're going to thwart and get rid of festering mass. So after we use a basic power, so we're going to spend plan B to do power within. After your hero uses a basic power, discard power within. Oh, we'd have to put that out first. So we'd have to use that to play that out before we did it. Then we discard power within to trigger Venom Blast. So that puts a stun. And oh, look at that. Wow, whoops. Finally did damage to Goblin. Only 8 more Venom Blasts to go. Sorry, I keep nudging the camera there. Yeah. So we're going to then spend 2 for web shot. Deal 4 damage to an enemy if you paid for this card using an energy resource, which we did. Resolve Venom Blast. So we're going to do 4, then another 2. So now he's down to 10. And that's going to put another stun. We're going to hold on to swing in. And that's all that we can do. So put, 8 damage on him in this turn. Just doesn't feel like enough. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Strength, Spider Girl, Web Shooter, Gankili. All right. Scheme. Do we have any 3s left? No. All right, let's just go from right to left here. So, Upper Manhattan now flips because that goes to 10. When revealed, move the glider counter and each acceleration token from here, likely there weren't any, to the main scheme with the least threat. Okay. If there are 2 symbiote environments in play, the players lose the game. Okay. One's going to go in here. And that's at 8. 8 out of what? So we covered it up. 11. Okay, so that's one we have to concentrate on. So we've lost Upper Manhattan to the symbiotes. Okay. Now he's going to attack, but he can't. Bombs don't go off because he didn't attack. Encounter card. Enraged symbiote. Guard and patrol. Only 2. Okay. Could be worse. It's not great. Certainly could be worse. Okay. So I have a few more options here. Sadly, Spider-Girl is not a web warrior. Do we want to try and swing in here? Genkilee's not really doing anything for us. So we're going to first play out Spider-Girl. No, we're going to play out swing in. Remove 4 threat from a scheme. If you paid for it using Genius Resource, resolve Spider Camouflage, which we do. So we're going to take 4 off of that one. We're going to get tough. And then he gets a confuse. Then we are going to play Spider-Girl. She's going to stun and confuse a minion. I mean, we're just going to take it out anyway, because what's the point? And then we're going to thwart. And we are going to thwart this scheme. And we're going to hang on to our remaining web shooter. Okay. Oh, I forgot. He did activate. It would have stayed on here, and I would have taken 3 damage on that last turn. Now we have a real problem, though. Because it's going to stay there, he's going to activate, and it's going to do 3 indirect damage, and we're going to die from it. No, it's going to switch. Kind of want to make sure that it does. So we're going to have to... Yeah, so we are exhausted. We're going to have to flip over. Because otherwise it's not going to move and we will die. Let's put a card back, and I think it's going to be a swing in because it's just too good. Which then allows us to use Jefferson to do that. Okay. Yeah, I know that it was indirect damage and the tough could have blocked it, but if he attacked again, we'd be in a lot of trouble. Or activated multiple times, so. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Web shooter, press the advantage, chase them down. Web shot, drop kick, Mockingbird. Okay. So, back to him. He's going to scheme. One, two. He is going to attack. Oh, sorry, he's going to scheme. He's got a scheme of just 2, 3, 4. And this is going to move. And then 1 threat, 2 threat. This is at 11. That's at 6. Okay. Encounter card. Symbiotic Thrall, guard. And it has patrol. Okay. Okay. Let's use Jefferson. Going to use press the advantage to get a web shooter. We're going to recover. We're going to flip. We're going to use our web shooters. Oh, it has 3 counters on it. So I'll just move 1 off of there because we know we're going to spend it. To play a web shot. Treating them as energy resources. So it's 4 damage to an enemy. Triggers venom blasts. Lots of stun. Oops. It's down to 8. And because we defeated him, we're going to play Chase Him Down to get 2 off of Midtown Manhattan. Nothing we can do with these 2, but we certainly want to use them next turn if possible. So we're going to have to use Spider-Girl to thwart 1 off of Midtown. Unfortunately, not triggering Web of Life and Destiny. I only need 1 of these, and Mockingbird is certainly the easier one to pull off. So we're going to keep her. Luckily, we have this tough. 1, 2, 3, encounter card. I don't think there's any way in this scenario to not lose 1 of the environments. I can't see that there's any way that you would be able to avoid that. Because then you can just concentrate on 2 later on rather than 3, but it's still pretty rough. I feel like things have stabilized. They probably haven't, but we'll see. All right, 2 more. So, leaving us with Mockingbird, Energy, Swing In, Genius, Plan B. Okay. So, scheming, attacking, going to have to defend because that's 4, 5, 5 minus 2, 6. 5, so 8, minus 2. Yeah, that's 6, leaving me on 1. Wow. Okay. The concussive bombs go off. Yeah. So those two have to get downed. Okay, I'm down to 1 health. First encounter card. He's going to scheme. Scheming at... Oh yeah, did that move? No, it stayed. So it would have put 1 more scheme on each. So that's a 10. And it would have moved, but it wouldn't have moved anywhere. So now he's going to scheme, which means he's going to activate again. Let's tidy this up a little. So it's at 7. Scheme of 2, 3. All he needs is a +1 here. Oh, and it's going to affect it anyway. Yeah. Yeah, so that was enough. So 2 more go on there, and because it's going to trigger... So that puts it to 9. No, 4. Oh, sorry. That put it to 3, 5. Yeah. Okay. So that's to 12, and it doesn't matter at all because that flips to the symbiote side. And because there are 2 symbiote environments in play, we lose the game. So basically takes over, they take over Manhattan. And as you can hear, my dog isn't too pleased about that happening. And I gotta say, neither is Miles. So, wow, that was very tough. I'm really gonna have to think hard about what kind of like solo deck I can put together. I really like Miles in aggression, so maybe I just need to tighten it up a little for this scenario. Maybe Justice. I think Justice may be the only way to really deal with this particular scenario efficiently. But then you end up running out of being able to do a lot of stuns to keep him under control. Well, either way, it was fun. I look forward to challenging Venom Goblin again. Yeah, my dog has settled down and has walked by just to check out what's going on. She's accepted Miles's fate. So yeah, ultimately, we won 2 of the scenarios pretty handily out of the 5. Again, spoilers from Sinister Motives, but I will definitely, probably not on the channel, but playing on my own, see what I can come up with to defeat the scenarios that I lost. But again, for going in blind with the decks and going in blind with the scenarios, I don't feel so bad about it. I think he made Miles and Gwen make pretty good accounting for themselves. But I look forward, of course, to trying again. So please let me know in the comments below what I may have done wrong, what I may have missed. If you can, see any pointers for me to see how I can defeat the Venom Goblin. And if you enjoyed the channel, leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell notification for future content. And until then, happy gaming.